Name three countries in Africa.
Africa, the jungle. There's a lot of snakes, a lot of animals. There's no food. You have to bring water. You have to survive, and you have to watch where you're going because the tigers. It's called surviving.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Verse or Belly Dirt Stranad. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I'm gonna be your today's host, and I have so many statistics to put up here, and we are gonna come out to talk about it. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
Africa is beautiful. Does Africa have houses? Actually, we don't have any houses in Africa. The only houses we have here are huts, which are already occupied by the rich people. But for those of us who are poor, we just live in the jungle with the wild animals. Sometimes we cuddle up in the lion's den with the lions, or sleep in the zebra cave with the zebras. And also sometimes we just sleep on trees. And that's how we survive without houses in Africa. Yeah.
This is crazy.
No, this is insane. No, I can't. Like, this is insane. I think he just spit on me. I think a giraffe just spit on me.
We did top 3 countries of the Caribbean, and boy did we have a time. Now let's take it to the motherland. I gotta give the #1 spot to Nigeria. They aren't known as the giant of Africa for nothing. With over 200 million people, they are a force to be reckoned with. It's an oil-rich nation and a powerhouse of entertainment with Afrobeats and Nollywood. The #2 spot goes to Ghana, which everybody thinks I'm from when I'm actually Guyanese. It's the land of golden cocoa and one of the first African countries to gain their independence in 1957. Also, big up to them because they stay welcome in the diaspora back home. And last but definitely not least, we got South Africa, home of Nelson Mandela, the one who helped to end apartheid. So now you know I gotta ask my African brothers and sisters, what are your top 3 African countries and why?
We're in freaking Africa. like with the safari and the animals and the birds and the lions and the... I used to watch these things on TV.
And I've been crying buckets and buckets of tears because I'm just overwhelmed and overflowing with joy to be here, to have this experience, and to just be in the motherland. Like, there's just animals just roaming around in their natural habitat. You know, I prefer to see them this way than seeing them in the zoo or in cages or just being like harmed. I can see a lion from my view. I can see a giraffe way over there.
But to actually see it, like, I can't even express how this feels. Like, guys, if you can, before you leave this earth, go to Africa.
The way the American media made it seem like Africa was just people living in huts everywhere. And quite literally, Africa is gorgeous. Like, when you actually look at places, Africa's fucking gorgeous. Why the fuck did y'all not show that to me growing up? Like, literally growing up, I thought everyone who was in Africa lived in a hut. I didn't know that there were beautiful parts of Africa at all, because that just wasn't being shown. But they still exist. I'm like, bitch, why were we not seeing that? Like, I clearly didn't know that Africa was beautiful like that. And y'all clearly did that for a reason. Like, when you start to see how beautiful it is in some places, you're like, oh, okay, this is why you don't show us these parts. Because you don't want us to see, like, oh, Africa's actually beautiful. You want us to have this preconceived notion of what Africa is like, and you want us to judge off of that and only think Africa looks this one way, and that it can't possibly look any other way. Because of the people who live there, of course. That's just insane to me. But yeah, Africa is fucking beautiful. They lied. Not to anyone's surprise, of course.
To our first lodge, and wow, we are in shock. Where is it? Where is it? It's on your shirt. Okay, welcome to Africa. Let me show you. A mini fridge, all included, and they're glass bottles. We have a little day bed. We have our tea and coffee station. Welcome to our room. And our room. Romantic bed. We've got our fireplace. And our pillow menu. Open her up. We've got options, including one that helps with brain circulation. That's what I'm getting. A closet. And our bathroom.
Speechless.
I can't believe this.
In my life.
We just got to our first.
Where are you from?
Nigeria.
Nigeria is home to Africa's richest man. What's his name?
Dangote.
Aliko Dangote. What do the colors of the Nigerian flag represent?
So the green is for agriculture and then the white is for unity and peace.
What unites Nigerians?
I would say we have a very strong community, diligent and very optimistic. I think with Nigerians, they strive to do whatever they can and somehow we will somehow make it work.
And let's be honest, you go to any country in this world, you will find Nigerians.
Everywhere. Always the people that have the weirdest mixes with people.
What's a common misconception about Nigerians?
We don't have luxury back home. I prefer the houses back home. I'd say here, like, they're nice, but they're not as nice as, like, the houses you get in Nigeria.
What do most Nigerians have in common?
Money. We do dress very well, look very good. We're very known for our, like, the way we present ourselves.
What do most Nigerian women have in common?
We're always right about everything.
Tell me something most people don't know about Nigeria.
During the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of Nigerians were enslaved and they believed that like it would be better as a collective to jump off the ships because in their eyes death was better than being enslaved to a country that they didn't know anything about and they knew they were going to be subject to horrible conditions.
That was referenced in Black Panther as well.
Yeah, it was. But we like to go to different countries and populate. We're everywhere. If we're not in that country, it's not a good country.
Africa is dangerous. Yeah. Imagine my friend yesterday, I posted on my story about the 6 months that I lived in Africa and how I can't wait to go back this year. And this brother said to me, he said, man, Africa is dangerous. My brother, you live in Chirac. Yes, home of King Von, the serial unaliver, Chief Keef. We saw what happened over Juneteenth weekend. I mean, come on, man. It's dangerous in the States. And I think that's one of the things that they use to scare us, fear, instilling fear in us and saying, oh, this is dangerous. Oh, this is scary. Don't do this, right? And if you listen to that and you internalize it, you realize that, you know, it makes you not want to leave your environment. It makes you want to stay trapped in a potentially very dangerous environment, more so than where you want to go or travel to. It's almost like the lie when they tell us that Africans hate us. I'm going to do a video about that, so look out for that. It's like, no, don't do this because this thing is scary or it's bad. It's like when people used to say money is the root of all evil. You're using scare tactics and fear mongering to prevent people from wanting to branch out and do other things that may help their lives or expand their consciousness. Listen, go visit Africa, man. It's beautiful and they love us as Black Americans. We are one. Peace from Khalees.
You know what really gets me? The way the American media and Western media in general painted this image of Africa for decades. Like when we were growing up, every documentary, every movie, every school lesson made Africa look like this one-dimensional place, full of horns, flies, and starving children. No cities, no beauty, no development, just this endless desert of poverty and sadness. And I really need to talk about that because when you start seeing the real Africa, the cities, the beaches, the architectures, the culture, the food, the fashion, the people, you realize how much we were lied to. How deeply we were manipulated into believing that Africa was the monolith, hopeless place and that was never by accident. The truth is, Africa is gorgeous, like breathtaking gorgeous, from Cape Town's Stable Mountain to the skyscrapers in Nairobi, from the beaches in the Zanzibar to the nightlife in Lagos, from the cultural explosion in Accra to the serenity of Kigali. Africa is stunning. Its model is alive, is innovative, but that is not what they wanted us to see. Growing up in the West, you did think the whole continent was some dusty village. You did see kids on TV with sad music playing in the background, and you did be told, this is Africa. Meanwhile, they never showed you the African universities, the luxury resorts, the model highways, or the fashion shows that rival anything in Paris or Milan. They never showed you Africans investing technology, building skyscrapers, or creating global music movements. They didn't show you that because the goal wasn't just to be informed, it was to control the narrative. See, when people control how you view a place, they control how you value it. And the people from it, if all you see is poverty, then subconsciously associate blackness with lack, with need, with helplessness. But if you see wealth, beauty, power, and innovation, suddenly you realize that the people you have been taught to pity are actually powerful, capable, and striving. And that is not dangerous to the system. That is why the image of Africa was kept small, because a united, beautiful, self-aware African threatened the idea that the West is superior. Think about how many of us grew up disconnected from our roots because of this lie. How many African Americans, Caribbean people, and black people in the diaspora were made to feel like Africa was something to be ashamed of, when in reality it's something to be proud of. Media representation is powerful. When you are a kid watching TV and all you see of Africa are starving children with swollen bellies, you internalize that. You grew up thinking Africa is poor. You think Africans need saving. You start associating whiteness with help and blackness with struggle. It's psychological programming, and the white part, even when you go to school, it doesn't get better. The textbooks hasn't any different. They teach about Africa as if it's one big country skipping over its 54 nations, its diverse cultures, its rich history that predates Europe's development. They skip over the ancient libraries of Timbuktu, the civilization of Kush, Mali, and Benin. They skip over the architectural marvels of Great Zimbabwe, the Kingdom of Assam, or the powerful queens like Zinga and Ye Asintua. Instead, they make it seem like Africa just started existing after colonization, as if it was discovered when in reality is the birthplace of humanity. Now, fast forward to today, we have social media and finally we get to see African through African eyes. And what do we see? Beauty, innovation, joy. You see people living, laughing, striving, building. You see African designers breaking into global fashion. You see Afrobeat taking over the charts. You see African cities lit up with skyscrapers, malls, highways, and tech hubs. And suddenly people like, wait a second, why wasn't we showed this before? Why were we lied to? Because it wasn't just about showing poverty, it was about shaping identity. It was about control. You can't exploit what people value and respect, but if you make them see Africa as worthless, then it's easier to justify taking its resources, undermining its government, and exploiting its people. And it's not just history. This mindset still exists. Western media will still show African suffering more than African success. They will film documentaries that focus on slums but ignore skyscrapers. They will highlight corruption but innovation. They will talk about feminine but not agricultural revolutions. Because showing Africa striving breaks their narrative. Let's be honest, the reason they didn't show us African beauty is because it disrupts the global heritage they benefit from. If black people around the world start to see Africa as powerful, beautiful, and worthy, that unity could shift the balance. That sense of pride could translate into economic and political power. And you can already see it happening. You can see black Americans reconnecting with Africa. You can see people in the diaspora investing, visiting, even relocating. Ghana's year of return, Nigerian tech boom, Rwada's tourism rise, these things are proof that the narrative is shifting. People are seeing Africa for what it truly is, not what they were told. And this isn't just about pretty landscapes or nice cities. It's about dignity, it's about rewriting the story, it's about breaking the mental chains that said Africa wasn't something less was something less. When you actually see videos of Cape Town's coastline, the nightlife in Nairobi, or the luxury resort in St. Chelas, it hits different. You realize then they really lied. They had me believing that Africa was nothing but poverty when it's actually paradise in so many places. But the real beauty of Africa isn't just in scenery, it's in its people, the warmth, the creativity, the sense of community, the resilience. That is the true wealth. That is the part you can't fake or replicate. And the saddest thing is, so many people have been robbed of the pride because of how the West framed Africa. So many kids grew up feeling disconnected from a place that is actually filled with their ancestors' brilliancy. Now imagine what happened if the next generation of kids in America, in the Caribbean, in the Europe grew up seeing Africa as it truly is. Model, innovative, breathtakingly beautiful. Imagine the pride, imagine the unity. That is what they are afraid of. A mentally liberated black generation that sees Africa not as a place of pity but as a place of power. And to me, that is why it's so important for us to share this message, to post the real images, to tell the real stories, to amplify African voices, because the more we show the truth, the more we destroy the lies that they were designed to keep us small. Africa is not just beautiful. So when I say they lied about Africa, it's not just an emotional statement, it's factual. The image we were fed was a distortion, a colonial propaganda piece that lasted for generations. But the truth is finally surfacing, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. You start realizing that Africa isn't behind, it's ahead in ways the world isn't ready to admit. You start realizing that the narrative of saving Africa was always a disguise for exploiting Africa. And maybe that is why they are scared of the awakening that is happening now. The global black community realizing that Africa is not the poor relative of the world, is the root, the foundation, the origin of everything. So yeah, Africa is beautiful, always has been, always will be. They just didn't want us to know.
And if you watch up to this extent, don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, why not just share your thought? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.